Motronics.
All right, folks, behind me is 960 horsepower worth of American muscle, specifically of Corvette muscle. Right over here, this is my C7 Grand Sport Coupe, and over here, this is Chevy's or GM's C8 Stingray Coupe. So what are we going to do? We're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned rev-off. How are we going to do it? So we're going to start up both cars in tour mode, which means with the flaps closed. And from there, we're going to let them idle a bit, just to let you hear some of the goodness that comes out of these exhaust pipes. There's really 8 exhaust pipes here altogether. So we're going to start them up in tour. We're going to then rev first the C7 to 2,000 RPM, then the C8 again to 2,000 RPM. Let you hear some of that. Then we're going to repeat the same thing to 4K and 4K, and then to 6K and 6K. All in tour mode, all with the valves closed. After that, we're going to get to the really good part. That's when we're going to open the valves. And we're going to repeat the same process. 2K with the valves open, 2K with the valves open, 4K with the valves open, 4K with the valves open, and finally, the grand finale, the grand crescendo, 6K and 6K. I'm ready. The camera is ready. The car's all ready. Here we go. Did you enjoy that? Because I certainly did. Overall, some impressions on the exhaust performance and just the exhaust sounds of both the C7 and the C8. Again, like I said, this is my car, so I'm very much familiar with how it sounds. The C8, this is really cumulatively my 4th week driving a C8. Not this particular model. This one I've had for a week, but cumulatively I've spent just about 4 weeks driving various C8 Stingrays since their launch. So here are some of my impressions. As you probably heard, the C7 has a deeper, more aggressive rumble over the C8. And that is probably because the C7 has a lot more pipe to it. You know, front engine versus mid-engine, there's only so much pipe that you can put in a mid-engine layout before it actually needs to escape out the back. So more pipe, a lot more room to resonate, a lot more room for the gases to bounce around, and ultimately before they escape through the exhaust. Whereas here, there is quite a lot less just because the engine is toward the back. So I would say that the C7 is deeper, more aggressive, and almost like filthier, if that's kind of a word that I can use to describe these sounds. However, I should note that this is only the beginning of the C8 story. This is the Stingray, so the Z06 will sound very different and a lot more aggressive than this here Stingray. And then after that, of course, it will be followed by the ZR1, which will probably sound more aggressive still. So for a base Stingray, this sounds really good. I think that the way that the C8 sounds really matches its personality versus the C7. The C7 sounds just the way it should. I think that the way that the C7 sounds also matches its personality perfectly. So nothing wrong with either one of the way these two Corvettes sound. I still have a few more hours with this guy before they pick it up, and I'm going to go and use it. For GM Authority and the Motronics Network, I'm Alex Luft. Over and out.
Motrolix.